Hey, how you doing? Joe Kuskie here, and welcome to the Joe Show. Luke Brooks did a interview with me. First time I've ever done an interview, and so I thought it was pretty valuable. And so what I did was I recorded it, and then there was some volume issues. So you may see a little bit of volume issues in here, but go check it out. It's a little bit more about me and what I do. Take care.
Basically, just to give y'all details of him, Joe, to me, I consider him one of the top professional skilled digital marketers. He is credited with driving online traffic, generating leads, and acquiring new customers for small and large business owners using key strategies. Joe is a master at designing like all types of software as far as integrating it, particularly with Tier 5. And I wanted to bring him in here to just educate a lot of people out here because I wanted to do this because a lot of people are getting an idea because I see a lot of stuff being pitched online. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy that. And it's like the shiny object syndrome, and we have to get away from that. So I wanted to dial people back down to reality to let them know, like, hey, this is how you need to do it. So he's got about 15 years experience doing this. So I think it's best for us to all listen to what he has to say. So welcome to the show, Joe.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you very much, Luke. And like I said, I was so excited when you contacted me and said, hey, you know what? I'd like to do an interview with you. And I'm thinking to myself, with me? All right. That's cool, and stuff. So anyways, you got questions for me? You want me to tell a little bit about myself? What do you want me to go with?
Give a little introduction of yourself, because I know I probably left out a few things that people need to know critically, because a lot of people are like, okay, I'm getting an email about this interview. Tell me, like, who is this guy? So I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, people are like, who the hell is this guy, What makes him? I haven't heard of him before. I've heard of everybody else, but not this guy, and stuff. So, you know what? I've been an entrepreneur for about 15 years in the e-commerce world, and I started like everybody else. I started on eBay. And it was like, you know what, I'll start selling stuff around the house and stuff, and let's just see what I could do. And when I started selling stuff, I was like, well, that's cool. And you know what, I got excited not when people would buy a whole bunch of one thing. They only bought one thing. And I got excited. I freaking ran around the house, and I told my wife, I sold this, look at this. And she's like, yeah, but you got to ship it now too. And I'm like, okay. And then when I shipped it, I made like $1 and on the whole deal. And she's like, okay, so did you make any money? And I said, I made $1. And she's like, well, you got to make a little more money for all the effort. And I says, I made $1. That doesn't matter. I made $1. I go, it was more fun to sell something to somebody and for somebody to be able to get something. And during this time, I didn't realize what I was doing, but I was solving somebody's problem is what I was doing. And and then in time and after over all the years, I got into like MLMs and tried to do a bunch of stuff like that. Was very successful. I became like an area manager, but I was working too hard. I didn't have time for family. I made a lot of money. I put my son through college with the money I made from it, but I just didn't have time. And I was going to people's houses and talking to them. And I didn't want to do all that. And then I actually started my own brand of matcha green tea and coffee, and I sell it on Amazon. And
wow,
yeah, and so I still do that as well as I sell on eBay, and I do the e-commerce on Amazon. But also one of the things that I really wanted to do, and I heard of this company called ClickFunnels. Because I had a website, but it was through GoDaddy. And when I heard on ClickFunnels, then I thought, well, maybe I could expand my business a little bit. And then from there, what I did was I wanted to kind of build a website from ClickFunnels to be able to buy my products and everything. And then when I started hearing more about the whole affiliate marketing, I'm like, affiliate what? I don't even know how to spell affiliate. What the hell is that? And it was like selling of the ClickFunnels software. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I can make some money through that way as well. And then after I became a partner with Tier 5, and I've been there for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed it because they build software that solves people's problem. And if you heard me before, at the very beginning, I started off with where when I was selling something on eBay, I learned that I was solving somebody's problem. Well, with software, what was really nice, it's almost kind of like e-commerce in a way, other than I'm not purchasing a bulk of stuff and paying for storage and everything. All I'm not doing is investing into this company, and then what I'm doing is I don't have to pay shipping and all that kind of stuff, because it's a digital market where it's just digitally sent to somebody once they purchase it. So I look at it the same way. And I'm in nowhere, like a marketer or anything, but I was still taking all my experience of trying to figure out how to do this. And so I still do my e-commerce business as well, but also it's been more getting into, digital solutions where I started to try to sell to people, and I was like, nah, I can't sell to people, and I see a lot of people going, you got to sell all this to people and try to make money, and it's like, yeah, so I kind of veered away from that a little bit, and what happened was I ended up thinking, wait a minute, I'm doing this all wrong, because what did I do 15 years ago? I need to go back and do what I did again, is solve people's problems. And how I did that was like on eBay, you tell what everything it does. I don't sit there and say, you should buy this. This is the best product out on the market. It's the cheapest or the most expensive. No, I tell on my listings on eBay or in Amazon what the software, what this product actually does and how it helps you and all that. But I don't put anything else on there. And when I started learning about that, and then being a partner with Tier 5 and working with a whole bunch of other partners and everything, really what I looked at overall was I need to brand myself. And so I branded myself with the Joe Show, but then also my brand is I started going in and just doing demos. I just show how the software works, and people start looking at, wow, you know what? I have that same problem. What he's doing right there, I can fix my problem by doing what he does. And then people will reach out to me, hey, does this really work this way or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, if you got time, let me know, and I'll get on a Zoom with you or whatever, or I'll go, hey. So on my funnels that I built was, I didn't go in there and go, hey everybody, this is Joe Kuskie, and you need to buy this because it's the best product out on the market, because it's made by a company that is been in business for years. No, I go in and talk about, hey, this is what I do to, like, the first time I wanted to really start building my Facebook friends list was I dumped everybody off of it, friends and family, and I started from scratch, and then I used Friend Connector Pro, and I started building, because when I first started to build without that software, I went in there and it took over a month just to get 1,000 people. And I had to sit there and look at each profile. Did I want this guy? Did I want that guy, or whatever? But now with Friend Connector Pro, what I do is I go in there and I set up keywords. I'm looking for specific people, and I do it. And you know what? I go sleep or I work on something else while that software is running. So it solved a problem for me, and I know it's going to solve problems, because if that was a problem for me, why wouldn't I solve those problems for everybody else? And stuff. So I've been doing that, and then I decided to create a group. I have a group that every time somebody buys the software, they get a bonus of going into that group, and they can ask anything they want if they have issues or whatever and they're having problems. And I go in there and do additional training in the group as well. And then I created another group because I've been with Tier 5 for over a couple of years now, and I wanted to start teaching partners how to be partners with Tier 5,
right,
and help us as partners, because if we're a partner of a company, How are we going to help the company grow their business? You know, and so as partners, we should be doing our part. So that's my story there. That's my story. So I go on live every day. I do the Joe Show. I go in there and maybe post something, or I do something every single day, or try to do something every single day. And also not just the software and demos and all that. I love barbecuing, and I know you like to cook. And I love smoking ribs and chicken, and I just did one. I smoked pizza. And so I go in there and do all kinds of stuff, and people get to know who I am, and that's what happens. That's the golden key, is that people will buy from you if they know who you are.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's some good stuff right there. So, you know, a lot of people are looking to be like, you know, how can I get on that other side, you know? And I think you answered some of the questions here about, you know, what's your background about growing your group right there. And I think you said you started about 2 years ago with doing the groups. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as like you just growing your group, like how long ago was that?
I started a group, about 2 years ago, and I got over 500 people in the group, and I left it open to the public so that anybody that wanted to see and how I set that up, and we could talk a little bit more of how you set up a group or whatever, but I set up that group for people to come in and join and see, and I asked questions, you know, and stuff. But what had happened after I got to about 500, you always had the same small group of people that were active in the group. And there was a lot of people that would sit around and lurk or do nothing, or, hey, I want to join this group. And then they join the group, and you're like, well, why do you want to join this group? Oh, because I want to learn, you know, stuff. Some people would join a group because they want to throw their offers out because it's a group of people. And it's like, hey, man, you're in my group. You don't throw your offers out in my group. You know, you could throw offers out of my group when I say that you can do it. But right now, and I would put it out there and say, hey, this week, anybody has some cool promotions going on, you've got 24 hours to post it out there. I'll leave it in there. And you could post whatever you have as far as your offers, if it's e-commerce or whatever it is, and learning, coaching, whatever. And of course, when you do that, they all interact, man. They're all dumping their stuff on there. But then when you sit there and say, who needs help? What's going on? Everybody's like, crickets. Crickets. So yeah. About 8 months ago, I put a sign up, a post in the group, and said, this is the Publishers Clearhouse contest going on. If you comment below, you'll stay here. But if you don't comment, you're out. And I put it in there for 24 hours. And I can tell you right now, out of the 500, I think I dumped 350 people out of the group right off the bat because they didn't even comment. I wanted them to comment anything they want, like, leave me here, I'll stay, whatever, and nobody did. So I dumped about 350 people out of there, and then I let it go. I put more content in there, and then I said, hey, Publishers House Clearing. That's how I did it. Publishers House Clearing Contest. You want to stay, we're down to 150 people, comment something really good for you to be able to stay. And people were, you know what people were commenting? Their offers. So I dumped them all, and I'm only at 50 people, but those 50 people are my customers. Those 50 people are people that are learning every bit about what I do, what I sell, what I could do to help them, whatever. And those are, I'd rather have 50 people of active people than 500 people with 10 active people. It makes a difference.
That makes sense. So a lot of people will be like grabbing their foot at that point, be like, wait a minute, you kick people out? Oh my God, my group. So how do people get past that psychologically, you know, say, hey, you need to cut these people off? Because it's like, for them, it's like asking them to cut their arm off. But we know, like, hey, if they're not working, because I did it with my friends list before, where people start commenting, hey, I'm still your friend. But it's like, folks can't process that. How do you, what would you say to folks like that who are like on the fence where they say I shouldn't dump these people in my group, even though they're not interacting.
Well, algorithm-wise with Facebook, your group will go sour if there's no activity going on. Based on the numbers that you have and the least amount of activity, it's going to hurt you. So don't feel bad when you got to dump people out because they're not active. What you got to do is look at it for you as a group to keep the group growing, because if you have an active group, Facebook is going to publish to everybody and show people your group. But if your group is not active and it's got, 500, 1,000 people and only 3 people are active in there, Facebook's algorithms looks at it and goes, why should I get people to go in this group and hurt Facebook and you and not publish that out? So the algorithms, there's so many things going on in an algorithm. So you got to look at it that way. So if I had a group of 10,000 people and only 300 of them were only active, that's terrible. And look at, I had a group of 500 people and maybe 10 or 20 people were active. Terrible, because it was the same people again and again. So what I would do is I would go into my members list and I would start messaging each person. Hey, how's it going? Haven't talked to you in a while. And you as a group owner, you have to be active with your members. You just can't grow it and start offering things and doing things. And that's the other thing. You can't have a group where you just sit there and offer stuff every time. Because the people are like, okay, this is a farm and you put all the cattle in one area and you're going to go and just offer something to everybody. What you want to do is let people choose what they want, and you don't offer things to them. What you do is show them what you do, and then because they're your group members, give them an offer that's maybe lower price than what you offer, because they're your group members, they're your followers. So you want them to get your stuff as long as it's a problem solver for them, not just because they want to buy it or you want them to buy it. Because if they buy it and they can't use it, they're never going to buy from you again. So I look at it is that if I had a big group of people, I want to reach out to them and I want to ask them, hey, how's it going? Especially the ones that haven't interacted in a long time. I'll sit there and say, hey, I know you're in my group and I haven't seen you interact at all, but are you getting anything out of my group? That's the question. Sometimes they go, oh, you know what? I haven't even jumped in your group in such a long time. All right, well, have a nice life. Bye. They can still be on your profile, they could be on your page, but they're not doing you any good. And that's why you, as a group owner, you build your group for a reason, to help people.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense right there. So, what would you say about the first step as a beginner for entrepreneur? I guess you already talked about that as far as growing your group. What it takes to grow your group without the guesswork and time delay. I guess you hit on that, but like any further things that you would say, like if someone was to sit there and you say, I'm going to give you steps 1 through 4, what would you put in order as far as doing this?
So building a group is really important on how you build a group. It has nothing to do with anything else, but you have to think about how you're going to build a group. So the first thing is the naming convention. You want to name your group with a couple key words, okay? That is really important. If you build a group with keywords, so like let's say it's all about, which I have a group that is digital marketing solutions. Those are 3 key words: digital, marketing, and solutions, based on what it is. And then Joe Kuskie. So if somebody wants to look up me, they'll find that group. If they want to look up something. So it depends on what you're looking at as far as what you're teaching or what you're doing. You're using keywords. And then from there, the next thing is it's all about the banner and how you set up your banner and what you're putting on your banner. And to get people to join your group, then you set up 3 questions in your group. But also what's really important is when people come into your group, you got to have an intro and maybe a video that introduces you. Hey, I'm Joe Kuskie, and thanks a lot for joining my group. And then tell them what the group is about, and then you tell them what you're going to be doing in that group, and then you tell them, please make sure you read the rules, don't spam the group. You know, you be very forward, and so that right when they come in, you're giving them everything they want to know up front, because that's how I did it was. And I've had a couple groups and I've closed them down because I wanted to see how I ended up, like, what was I missing, you know? And so when you put those things in there, when I join a group or somebody says, hey, you want to join my group? I don't know, let me go check it out. Because if I join their group and it's something that I have no interest in whatsoever, I'm not doing them any good. I've had a few people ask me, hey, you want to join my group? And so I go check the group out and I say, hey, I don't think I'm going to be any value to your group whatsoever. I mean, you might be able to teach me something, but I'm in so many groups, I don't know if I could be active in your group. I tell people straight out, I'm not sure if I'm going to be active or not. And I had one guy that actually said, hey, you know, it would be really great if you're in my group. And I said, okay. And the way he promoted it and everything, I thought he was going to have like a huge group, and he had 25 people in the group. And I was like, okay, he's just starting out. Let me jump in there and let me see if I can learn something from there. And also maybe I can add some value to it. And it's like the guy, I didn't want to tell the guy how to run his group, but what he was doing, it was not really anything of big value. And you hardly had 2 or 3 people. He was tagging people when he would ask questions that forces them to answer back. And it's like, that could be okay, but he's not doing a good introduction. He didn't say, hey, I want to welcome Luke Brooks into our group or anything like that, because that's what you want to do. You want people to shine in that group, not you. You want everybody else coming in to shine. You want people to ask questions so that you're in there answering those questions every day. And you should put something in there, you know, at least every few days. Like right now, this interview, I've got it in my group right now so that people can see what's going on in that group. You know, I'm hoping that people are going to learn something from it. They can learn something from you or from me, whatever, but it's something. And also, what am I doing? I'm getting people to know who I am.
Yeah. True. That's true right there. As far as I would say here, like, what tools would you say to someone who just say they bought, for example, we'll click on ClickFunnels because, you know, everyone knows ClickFunnels, most people do. If they walked in and said, I got a ClickFunnels account today, what would you tell them as far as someone just stepping into this whole system of affiliate marketing or online marketing with just a simple ClickFunnels? Because, you know, some people don't know about the other things that they need. They think ClickFunnels is just a one deal, Walmart deal, you know, one show quitter. You know, what would you say to them? They just came in like, hi.
Well, in all honesty, because ClickFunnels, what I ended up doing was I got ClickFunnels because it was a hype. And I got the $97 ClickFunnels. And then I had started learning that I need to connect it to an autoresponder. And then I had to pay extra if I wanted to connect it with PayPal, because PayPal in my e-commerce business, I've got a PayPal account for a long time and it does good. And you had to do all these extra things. And once I started realizing what I really needed to do, ClickFunnels is not my #1 thing that I use. I moved on to another one, but also one of the awesome things that Tier 5 is doing is Tier 5's building Genius Pages, which is going to be overall a combination of maybe all the different platforms and what they think is the best platform for everybody, but not at no $297. It's going to be a heck of a lot more reasonable for marketers to be able to have a platform to be able to make money from. And so, like right now, I use Genius Pages, but also I use a different company, Kartra. And Kartra, I stopped paying the $297 from ClickFunnels, and I pay $99 a month. And I've built funnels and made money not from the funnels, but from the product that I'm selling in Kartra. I never made a dime off anything in ClickFunnels whatsoever. I made money off of their books as an affiliate, but then again, I got to wait 45 days. I got to make sure that they pass that 30-day payment to make that extra payment. Then I got to wait 15 days for ClickFunnels to pay me. I was like, that's no way to operate. And then I only get 40%. Where in the partnership with Tier 5, I own the software. As a partner, I get 100% of the revenue once it's sold, and I get it right then and there. I don't have to wait 45 days. So it's really big to be able to offer people. So when they say, hey, I use ClickFunnels, the first question I ask them, how long have you had ClickFunnels and what have you built with ClickFunnels? And a lot of times they go, well, I've had ClickFunnels for 6 months and I really haven't built a thing yet. All right, you need some help building something? If you want to go over to Genius Pages or Kartra, and I tell them what I've done and how I've done it in Kartra, and if they become an affiliate under me, then I'll actually share a funnel with them and help them build it out. And so I get a 40% commission off of that Kartra, which is fine. And that's not the whole idea of the money. I want to help that person is what I really want to do. So I'm basically trying to help them. And I look at it overall. The way I want to get success is if I make you successful. And if you're successful, then I become successful. And the money comes later. I don't need the money right now. I don't want the money right now because as a customer, if I were to sell you a product right now and make money and never contact you or anything, I'm going to lose you as a customer or a client. So what I want to do is help you make money first. And once you start making money, then I become successful. And if you're making money, then I start making money. And that's what I look at it overall.
Gotcha. So since we talked about Tier 5, you know, that's my baby right there, too. That's my bread and butter right there. My question follows with, you know, what is the perfect mindset for a beginner that's starting off with Tier 5 or the affiliate program with Tier 5, you know, as far as you showing them, hey, this is a point where you can virtually get guaranteed success?
Well, the first thing I do is now let me explain something. With the affiliate program of Tier 5, you become a partner in Tier 5, and you become a partner from me signing you up, or maybe from somebody that you signed up or whatever. I look at it as, hey, it's an extra bonus that I would get. And of course, what did I just say? I don't care for affiliate programs, but what I'm doing is getting partners in for Tier 5. And that's my goal, because if it wasn't short of, if Tier 5 was my company, I wouldn't have the Joe Show. I'd have the Tier 5 show. But I am all in on Tier 5. And what makes that special for me, and to bring in another partner, what I do is I put them under my wing. And I tell them, okay, so you get all this software and you're not paying for software. You're investing in this company and you're investing in you. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take action. If you don't take action, I don't know what's going to happen. But if you go with some of the things, and it's not just me, Luke, I ask all my other partners. That's why I built the Power of Partnerships with Joe Kuskie, because what I wanted to do was be able to have new partners come in and learn from all the partners so that they can move so much faster, they can move so much quicker. It took me a whole year to really figure out how am I going to actually sell this software and make money off it to earn some of that revenue back that I've been investing in. And then what I wanted to do was I help partners become partners by making money. So I've had some success stories in here where we've had a couple partners within the first month. They already made their money back from what they actually started investing in the company, and they made that money back so fast because they took action. And so all I'm doing is I'm up there showing them, hey, if you do this, if you go do this, and you do this, it will help you move faster. And I'll tell them what I failed at. Hey, I did some of these things and I started failing and it didn't work for me. It may work for you and you could try it to see how I might have failed. But in the long run, what's going to happen is you're going to try, is it going to be successful for you or not? If you don't take action, you're not going to make no money. You're not going to be able to do anything. But if you take action every day, you know, you can't like go, okay, I'm going to invest in this company, I'm going to make all this money, and then all I'm going to do is just sit there and sit back and I'm going to throw a funnel together, or I'm going to hire somebody to build a funnel. That's the other thing. Don't hire people to build a funnel. Learn what you're doing and learn about why you have to have a funnel and build it yourself. And then you get it out there, and then all of a sudden the next thing is you get it. You got to know everything. Oh, I'll just hire a VA and I'll get them to sell the software. Not going to happen. You got to get you out there, and people are going to buy from you regardless of the software and what it does. People are going to see, hey, Joe does this and he's successful, so let me figure out what I need to do, okay? And let's see if Joe tells me something and it works, I'm one step ahead. But if it doesn't work, I'm one step ahead because he told me I was going to fail, or he failed at this, and I tried it and it didn't work, so he's right. Or, hey, they might get lucky and it worked for them, but it didn't work for me. So what I'm doing is putting them on a fast track of not having to wait a whole year. So as a new partner, the first thing I offer to all new partners, whether they're my partners or just partners in Tier 5, join this group and start asking questions. If you don't ask questions, you're not gonna be successful.
That makes sense right there. Now, speaking about that, because you know that sounds like a mindset right there. What do you tell the guys that's coming into your group as far as how to get that mindset right? Because this might be their first time doing any type of online sales. And, you know, some people got the mentality where they're like, you know, I'm used to the 9 to 5. I give a certain amount of hours, therefore I should get paid. And it's not always like that necessarily when you're starting off with online sales or affiliate marketing or any type of thing dealing with you working on your own material. What do you do to indoctrinate them as far as say, hey, look, you know, if you're expecting to get this done in 3 days and make 6 figures, this is the wrong yep. type of show. So how did you do that as far as educating people on that?
Well, right off the bat, people will sit there and say, okay, I'm spending this money, I'm going to make money. And it's like, no, this is an investment in this company and you. This isn't like the market where you're going to go drop, you know, some money and you're just going to make money off of the market. Okay? You don't know how to do the marketing, but what you need to do is just go out there and do this. But a lot of people, they get overwhelmed because if you join the Tier 5 partnership, you get about 30 user accounts and you could probably make your investment back by selling about 4 or 5 software at the market rate, and you have already got your money back. And now everything after that is all pure profit. And people go, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, no, that ain't going to be what you're going to do. You're overwhelmed. You need to learn one software, right? It's like,
yeah.
Hey, I got 8 softwares. I'm going to make money on all 8 of them. No, you're not. You're going to make money on one of them if you concentrate on one of them and learn the ins and outs and everything about that software. Use it for your business. That's the first thing you have to do so that you know why it's going to solve people's problems. If I just sat there and told you, hey, Frank Connector Pro will solve your problems and help you get 5,000 people on your Facebook profile, you're going to be like, really? And it's like, well, how, Joe? And it's like, if you don't know how, it ain't going to work. But I know how. I learned everything there is about Frank Connector Pro. And I says, okay, you could go into a group and get friends. You can go on your friends list and get friends. You can go into where people that may know you, that the algorithm said, hey, these are people that you may know. See, now I'm getting deeper into it. If you don't know that kind of stuff, so if somebody's offering, hey, buy all this stuff, and they have questions. I get questions all the time. hey, so does Engagement Monster really engage on all your friends' posts? Yes, it does. And but it works. It works great. But for you to get a better connection, you got to work with it as well too, where it's going to engage in all your friends. When people mention you back, you turn around and you start having a little post conversation. Next thing you know, guess what happens? Beep, a little message comes up. That person saying, thank you. Thank you for engaging in my post. I really appreciate it. And then you start having a conversation. They'll turn out to be your client later on. You know.
Oh, I had an issue with that when I used Engagement Monster. You have a couple people, I don't like this is bot. This sounds like bot. You shouldn't do that. And I type right back to them. I told them this. I say, my experience does, or their opinion does not dictate my experience using Engagement Monster. So basically, summing it up is like, I don't care about your opinion. We know what works right here. Because, you know, we explained to people before, like engagement software is basically where it does the talking for you initially. And the idea, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the idea is once they respond, you come back as your actual self and talk to them and have that conversation build up right there. Not, okay, it's the one all be all, because I tell people that in my group too, and on my videos, like, hey, if you're expecting it just to walk everything through the self, it does not do that. It is to basically start the conversation up. Yeah. Those people are looking for engagement too. But I told the people who didn't like the answer, they can leave because I don't care. We're going to make money one way or another.
No, I agree 100%. And like I said, you have to take action. You can't just let something go and just go, okay, this is it, done. You know, this is all we're going to do. It's going to be like you got to work that thing. You've got to make that thing work for you and get that initial engagement, and then you have to come back and work with it as well too. You know, that's what it's all about. You just can't go, okay, I'm going to automate everything. I'm going to hire a VA and let the VA do my business for me. It's like, really? Okay, then you're not going to be successful. You got to have a VA do specific things because you don't have time. But I tell you, Luke, I don't have a VA. You know who my VA is? All the software that I have. Those are my VAs because I know exactly what the software is doing for me and what it needs to do for me to take action on that next phase of what I'm doing. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Let me ask you this. Since we're talking about the VAs, like, could you give us a list of the software that you're using that can, you know, remove the VA part? You know, because a lot of people are, oh, you know, a VA, and you don't know what VA is, guys. That's a virtual assistant. So, you know, you can go to the Philippines or other countries. I have one myself, but they take care of, like, my SKU stuff right there as far as drafting emails. But for people to say, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to pay a VA, I just want to have this automation that he just spoke about. What are those things right there?
So one of the first things, obviously, I use is, like I said, so Friend Connector Pro is one of the first ones that people go, hey, I want to build my Facebook list and my profile. So I want you to go in there and start checking out people's profiles and start accepting them because based on this. You don't need a VA to do that. You can use Friend Connector Pro to do that. Engagement Monster is another one that you set it up, you create the comments, and then you let it run. You have it set at a certain time, and it's going to respond to people's posts, okay? And when it responds to people's posts, and you don't set it up like, you know, just having like some words or whatever. If you're looking at a comment that you would give a thumbs up, write a real to heart type of comment that you would give somebody, not just any kind. You look at it overall globally. If I was going to give somebody a thumbs up on a post, what am I going to say? You know, if it was something that had a heart, what am I going to say? And then what you do is you change it up later. Okay, you don't leave it running the same thing every single day. I let it run, and I let it run for a day, and then I turn it off, and then I go let it run a couple days later, and I change some of the comments, and then I let it run again. And man, I'll tell you, all the follow-up that I got to do on it, it keeps me pretty busy. And I start engaging with people. Now that those people are seeing what I'm doing. Now there's another one that is actually going to be coming out at the end of this month. This one is my software. It's called FB Birthday Greeter. So what it's going to do is it's going to, everybody's birthday that comes out on today, it's going to automatically wish them a happy birthday on their post. And I was just talking to a guy about a week ago, and he says, yeah, I have a VA that goes in and finds everybody's birthday, and then what it does is it wishes them a happy birthday and lets me know that they wished them a happy birthday, and then I send messages out, or my VA sends messages out. And I'm like, really? I got a software that's going to do it for you. So what the software does, it's going to post on their wall or on their timeline, you know, whatever message you want, and you can mix up multiple messages, as many as you want. And then also it's going to send them a personalized message in Messenger saying, hey, you know, also I really wanted to personally tell you, I knew I threw it on your wall, but also I just want to tell you happy birthday. What are your plans? And you ask them a question for an action to engage with them. And next thing you know, you start talking to people. And people will hire VAs to do that. The software is going to do it for me. So there's three of them right there that are like huge. I mean, we could sit here and talk about every single software, what they do, but those are like huge softwares right now that I use that engage with people that I don't even have to have a VA for. Those softwares do it for me.
Wow. Amazing. That's amazing right there. Man. Let me say this, or ask you this. Is there anything that we haven't, or I haven't asked you, as far as that, going back to the groups, that the audience may need to know as far as starting out as an entrepreneur? You know, I feel like I'm leaving something out that I may not have asked.
For the group, what to do in the group, or to get them into a group, or how?
Anything that you can think of where we're like, yeah, that might need to be included in this live right here, that they may not be clicking the A to the B. As far as someone say, hey, I hear what you're saying about, hey, downsizing the group to only get it down to the people interacting, you know, building up the content. Like, what other things that you think that a person may need once they are trying to grow this group, following the steps?
Well, to grow a group, Facebook's going to help you based on your keywords, but also on your Facebook profile. If you put a lead magnet out there to give somebody something, to give them something to join that group, first thing you're doing is giving them some value for just an email, and say, hey, you want to join my group? I'll give this to you. That is number one. Now they're going to sit there and think, this guy's giving me something. Do I really want it? Is it going to help me? But it's really cool that I'm going to get something free. Yeah, I'll get something. So it's a lead magnet, and it's a value bomb is what I call it. The next thing is once they're in there, you want to make sure that you welcome them. Okay, welcome to the group. We've got another person, or you got 5 more people, and you do that once a week. The other thing is what are they there for? Ask them, what is it that you want to learn from this group? But you're going to have whatever it is that you do in there. If it was e-commerce, you're going to say, this group is focused on e-commerce, or this group is focused on whatever it is. You know, what if it's a group, like I have a group, I'm thinking about building a group just for coffee drinkers. The people that just love to drink coffee all day long or whatever, and I'll build a group just for coffee drinkers. So what do they want to learn about coffee? Hey, what's the American heritage on coffee? What's good? Why would you put, you know, a creamer in a coffee? Why are you going to have an automatic drip versus an espresso? And what you're going to do is you're going to put units in there and have some training so that people are going to come in and they're going to learn. And then you sit there and look out at the world. If that is whatever your niche is, then what you're going to do is still provide a bunch of stuff about whatever you have going on. And then inside that group, now like for my group, everybody who buys software from me gets to go into that group. I have units that you learn how to use that software. And something that I might come up with, or a new feature comes out, I let everybody know in the group, hey, by the way, Friend Connector just had a new feature of messaging. This is how it works, and this will be in the units. So there's going to be all kinds of things inside there. Otherwise, when they join a group, why? What are they there for? What are they going to get out of it? You know? And then maybe once or twice or every other week, you're going to go live in the group and say, hey, join me on a live on my Zoom in this group only. Or who wants to join me on a Zoom call? And ask me anything. Ask me anything about what subjects, you know. Give me a heads up. And that makes your group, as far as I'm concerned, powerful. You just go in there and let people know. And then also say, every once in a while or once a week, who needs help in the group? What do you need help on? Comment below. And help people out.
Makes sense. That makes sense right there. Now, let me ask you this, because I've seen this happen before too in my group itself. Bots trying to join your group. I've seen that with one of my VAs I had in the past. He was like, yeah, I can get people to your group. And he put in some certain keywords, and all of a sudden all these people came in, and I started trying to comment to them, no response. But like they would just keep going towards the group like a magnet or something. Like, what did you say about those?
Well, you go in your settings and you only allow people, and you look at those people who you want to have in that group to start with. And you don't allow pages, because a lot of people will have a page and they'll want to join a group as a page. And so you turn that off. That's the first thing you do. You can deny that. And then people won't be able to see that. So the next thing is that what you want to do is get a tool that's going to work. Now, we're developing a tool right now, and it's going to be out hopefully, if not at the end of this month, mid-month. And it's going to be a tool that helps you, because you're saying that you have a VA. This tool is going to eliminate that VA that's going to check and look at, are those bots coming in, or are they real people, or what it is. Sorry, man. My phone keeps going off the hook here. I don't know why. I think people are watching my live right now and stuff. Let me.
I think that's what it is.
Let me turn the volume down. Sorry about that. So, alrighty. So, anyways, that's really the biggest thing, is that you have a tool that's going to help you bring people in to that and look at that kind of stuff. And so we're looking at features in this new tool that's going to help you get people into your group and eliminate some of that stuff. And this tool will eliminate a VA for sure.
That sounds good right there. I think that's going to be like the game changer right there, because if you don't got to pay a VA and you got some software that's doing this, it never sleeps, it never gets tired, it never gets disgruntled, it never wants to be, hey, can I get a raise, can I get a raise?
It never talks back to you either.
Yeah, that's true. It can never let you down. I think that's going to be a game changer right there. So with all this stuff that's got going in place for the entrepreneurs that trying to start off on the right path, and you know, we talk about time, and this is some of the things I talk about too with automation. It's like automation for me is to work smarter, not harder, not to spend 16 hours on Facebook looking at people's profiles, letting a machine do that for me, and I can just do QA work. But in mind, you know, are there any tips for time management when it comes to growing your group? What would you say about that? How much time should we consider when we're talking about growing this group?
You can actually spend an hour a day in your group. That's all you do. But the consistency is what's important. Spend an hour a day in your group at the same time, and have all your notifications turned on. If all your notifications are turned on, okay, what's going to happen is that you're going to see somebody say something, and you can have your phone and respond to it right then. Or you can actually, you know, to be able to be interactive in your group all the time is great, but you don't have to spend a lot of time. But if you spend the same amount of time every day, 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever it is, throughout the day, turn your phone on a recorder. hey, this is a great idea to put in the group, because later on you're not going to remember it. And then you'll go back and go, I had an idea today. Let me go back on what I said. And you put it on your phone. And then you're like, oh, yeah. Because you're not going to remember everything all day long until that evening and go, yep, I thought about this today. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So you got to do those things to help yourself. And that's the part of taking action. So like I said, you can spend 1 hour every single day in your group and put something in there that says, hey, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this next week. Or who needs help? Let me know, because I'll open up a Zoom call for everybody who wants help at this date and time, and have it the exact same time every time. That's all you got to do.
Got you. Now, with finding these people, what particular groups, like just say for Friend Connector, you're going to go into groups. What particular groups, just say for making money online, what particular groups should people start looking into once they get your software, as far as like, hey, I need to know what group to go into to find potential customers? What would you say?
It depends on what their niche is. So let's just say, and I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm all about coffee, okay, because I love coffee and everything. I'm going to join groups that have everything to do with coffee, espresso, coffee shops, all that kind of stuff, and friend those people, because whatever I have to offer. So if I'm selling coffee to people, I want to get into groups. Coffee Tasters International, or Coffee Tasters Alive, or Coffee Growers of the World, or even Coffee Growers or something like that of California, or whatever, coffee drinkers. So you want to go into those types of groups. So whatever is your business is, those are the groups you're looking at. If you're looking for to work with plumbers and stuff, go into every plumbing group there is and join them and see what they are. And just because there's 10,000 doesn't mean it's always active. Once you get into that group, go look down and see how often and how many comments and stuff and what's going on every day. You can have 10,000 people, and once a week there's a comment in there about something that's not a very big active. But when you go in there and there's like 4,000 or 5,000, but there's 2 or 3 or 10 comments every day, pretty active, join those. Use Friend Connector Pro and get in there and knock it out. That's all you got to do.
That's true. I mean, for me, let's make sure I get the phone, because the phone's talking crazy. So, for me, I would add on to it too. I look at like the frequency, because like on Facebook, it tells you how frequently people are posting on there, and I gauge that. I look at the volume of it. I look at what content they have, and then try to inject myself, because I've seen some mistakes in there in the past where people try to throw in a link, and I tell my guys this: don't ever throw a link into a group that's not yours, because that's the number one way they either boot you out, they delete your post, they kill your time. Mm-hmm. So those are 3 things they do, because I see people do that today. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And it's gone just like that, because it's not allowed in that group. Now, when you get your group, you can post wherever you want to, but in those other groups, what I would do, like if it's someone that has a question, I would just create a new post and tag them in there, and curiosity kills the cat when they see your profile. Oh, who's this dude? And it does the talking for you.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the thing. Your group is your group, so respect the other groups as well that you're in. And if you wanted to post something, you definitely want to make sure that you definitely want to make sure that you talk to them and the admins and say, hey, I really need to, would like to do this and offer something or whatever. But if you go in and drop something, they're going to drop you. Figure it that way. Just remember that.
That's true. Closing hour here, or closing minutes here. What are your final thoughts that you would say to motivate the entrepreneurs just starting off? Like they know that you already told them that, look, if you're expecting the 9-to-5 paycheck, it don't happen here. You're gonna have to wait for that instant gratification, because it's not any instant gratification. It's just that you put in your work, and your work is gonna yield the results coming down the line. So look at it as an investment, not an expense. what would be the motivation tip that you would give them if you could just tell them, like, hey, this is the motivational tip for you?
And that is in respect to groups, or being in groups, or building groups, or just in general? The motivation is, for me, right off the bat, is I get motivated every day when I'm able to help somebody. That's the first key right there. If I can help somebody, that motivates me to continue to help people every day. And if I continue to do that, this business is easy for me to do. As long as I can help it. It doesn't mean I have to help somebody every single day, but what really puts that on fire as well is I'll help somebody today, or maybe I'll be a couple days and I help somebody, and then the motivation is that when I heard back, hey Joe, thanks a lot for your comments, and by the way, I made a couple bucks off of that. Boom, right there. It makes me want to continue doing this. And that's why I say you got to take action. And I take action, and everybody else. I got to a point where I didn't take action, nothing happened. But when I take action, things start to roll. It doesn't mean it's going to happen today. It may happen 2 weeks from now. But as you continue that, and just keep going, boom, it just keeps rolling. That's all it is. It's fun.
Makes sense. That makes sense right there. Now, how can people find more information about you and what you do? How can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me on Facebook, friend me, and then message me and say, hey, I saw you on the interview, or comment on the interview live, because I streamed this on my own page as well, Luke. Also, I have a YouTube channel. Go check out my YouTube channel. So you can just do anything. Search Joe Kuskie on the internet, and you'll find a lot about Joe Kuskie. That's for sure. But just reach out to me on Facebook, and if you guys need any help with anything, I'll be more than happy to help you. Absolutely. All they have to do is mention you, Luke.
All right, guys, you hear that? So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You can't be like, well, I didn't have enough time. This is going to be on replay. You got resources where you can reach out to Joe. You can get the information that he's talking about. You can get the automation that he's talking about too. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I thank you for tuning in, guys. If the ones that are listening on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe to this video. I want you to make sure that you have access to us, because we do update this every week. We update this every week with new content, fresh content to help you get your business started. So I thank everyone again. My name is Mr. Luke Brooks. Thank you, Joe, for tuning in. I appreciate all y'all. Take care. God bless.
Thanks. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
So that was it on my interview, and I hope you liked it. So if you go into the comments below here and go check it out, I have an offer in there for Friend Connector and also a few other things. But again, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next Joe Show video. Take care.